Hello everyone. Today's video is on a Corgi 1/72nd scale B-17G 909 of the 91st Bomb Group with the red tail and wingtips from the late war camouflage scheme. 909 was, I think, supposedly the record holder for the 8th Air Force for most missions flown without a turnback. There was a lot of other B-17s that flew more missions, but they had to abort missions or had mechanical problems or something that made them turn around and come back to the air base. The 91st had 909, Outhouse Mouse, and Wee Willie as three old camouflaged aircraft that were all running for the title, but 909 was the one that happened to win out. But like I said, there was old Gappy and a few other ones that had like 150, 157, 159, something like that, that had missions that beat this one as far as total missions flown, but this one supposedly never had to turn back. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've read. But anyway, let me see what I can do with this. Zoom in a bit. These are the ground figures that came with it. I've used them on other aircraft, but they were supplied in the box from Corgi. I bought this one years ago at Tuesday Mornings. I think the suggested retail price on them back then was $119, somewhere around $120. And Tuesday Mornings had them for a couple years around Christmas time at blowout prices of I think I paid $39.99 for a B-17 or a B-24. And I paid, I think, $29.95 for the B-25 series that they had. But anyway, only one of the B-25s came with ground crew figures, and I think that was the Navy one. But I thought these were great, pretty nicely molded. Of course, the cockpit's not all that great, but for a die-cast aircraft with ground crew all painted up, decaled, and ready to go, nice pad printing, straight out of the box, in a collector series, was pretty doggone nice. These had gear up or gear down. They also came with a stand that on the B-17 it elevated the nose as it was in a flying position, but if you were careful, you could turn it around and have it with the nose down attitude. If you wanted to, it would stay. Like I said, they were nicely done. Couldn't complain about them, and for that price, I wasn't going to pass them by. But it had a whole series of ground crew figures, which made it a nice option and a nice thing to get. Only thing is that if you don't have the pieces on the ladders or the plane, you've got the guys and they've got their own base, and it looks like they've put them on ground instead of pavement or concrete that would be for an air base. But that's just a small inconvenience. But over the years I was able to get their B-17s. I got the Memphis Belle, the Mountain Ride, the Bit of Lace 909, the B-17E, and by that time they were starting to get pretty pricey, and I didn't get any more of them. I think I did get one more of them. It was a B-17F, but I've not been able to find that one in my stash anywhere. Nowadays when they bring one out, I think their list price is around almost $200 and something, so it makes it a little tough to afford to buy a bunch of them. see if I can get this thing centered. But anyway, for a 1/72nd scale B-17 die-cast, I thought it was pretty good. And the one I did miss that I wanted was the Sentimental Journey. I think it was one of the first ones they did. It was done in 457th markings. But this one I really wanted a lot. They only had one at the store at the time, and I went to all the other Tuesday mornings to get more, but they were already gone because it had the crew figures and everything, and at that price it was very nicely done. So Corgi used to put out a lot of things, and then I think they went through a transition or being bought out or something, and now whoever owns them, they still have these old original aircraft, but they very seldom come out. I mean, you might get one B-24 and one B-17 a year. I haven't seen the PBY Catalina, or I think they did a C-47, and they did a bunch of aircraft, World War II aircraft, like the Hellcat, Corsair, P-51 Mustangs, P-47 Thunderbolts, the B-25s, and a bunch of British planes, but I don't see that many of them anymore as being advertised being new. I may be missing them, and of course I'm not watching all that hard anymore because the prices are so far up. But anyway, this one had the crew outside. A lot of the planes had a full crew inside the plane. This one doesn't have any crew members inside the plane, but it doesn't really matter because you really can't see the crew. Well, you do see them somewhat, but nicely done. You'll see on some of the versions where if it was an early version, the machine guns are in the turrets are relatively short. As they went on later on, they increased the length of the barrels. The early B-17E had a really bad-looking painted cockpit area, and then once they went to the F and the G, it got a little bit better looking. And sometimes they just painted over the side window glasses, like the if on an F or an early G model, like the slide door for the gun port on the sides was closed. But anyway, thought I would drag this out for you and let you take a look at it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you could leave a like or a subscription. It would help me out with YouTube, letting people know that people enjoyed these. Also, too, I want to thank you for watching the video. You all have a good day. Be safe. Talk to you all later. Thank you. Bye.